Hello and welcome to the lecture series on Total Quality Management. I am Dr. Vinod Kumar Yadav from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, GL Bajaj Institute, Greater Noida. Today we'll discuss about the quality policy, ISO documentation, ABC analysis and JIT production. These are related to the total quality management concept. So starting with the quality policy, we'll firstly discuss what is the importance of quality policy, what's the meaning of quality policy. Basically, quality policies are brief statements that aligns with any organization goal or purpose. So these are basically the vision and mission statements that an organization dreams for its future. So these policies are basically uh, they used to provide the framework for quality objectives and include a commitment to meet applicable requirements. Like if we are applying for ISO 9001 or we are applying for something like some customer regulatory, then there must be some policies. So that helps us to attain the target of continuous improvement. So it should be defined at a prior stage because in future that has to be adopted. So basically these incorporate the vision and mission statements of the organization. So these quality policies are basically set in coordination with the top management of the organization and followed by the employees. Okay, so employees will be participating, they will frame some quality policy and management will finally approve it. So some examples of quality policy are like this. We can read this statement. Okay, like we will consistently provide products and services that meet or exceed the requirements and expectations of our customers. This is a quality policy. Okay, what the company is dreaming to consistently provide products and services. So that company deals with the products and services, and he's dreaming that they will be meeting the or exceeding the requirement of the customer for their full satisfaction. So we take another example. So this is for Nestle. So Nestle have defined these some keywords related to its quality, like zero defect and no waste, everybody's commitment, any employment, employability of all, preference and consistency, product safety and full compliance. So these are certain examples of quality policies. So we can see from here that this is basically a documentation that is pertaining to some aim or objective of the organization. ISO certifications. So to become an ISO certified company or organization, we must submit several documentation as per the requirements of ISO. So that document pertain to processes, procedures or standards. So these basically are the basic documentations that are being demanded at the time of inspection. So for example, the ISO 9001 written in 2015 that provides a list of requirements for a system that determines that a company is able to provide international quality products and service consistently. So we'll see some examples here of documentation, how this is being done. So I have recapitulated here regarding some glimpses of ISO 9001 formulated in 2015. So as we know, this is the newest edition published in 2015. So this pertains to international quality standard used worldwide, improves customer experience and satisfaction. So it has 10 clauses of requirements through which the implementation of the standards of ISO 9000 is being ensured. So we have to supply our documentation in support of these clauses. So we'll see what kind of documentation they are demanding for. So this basically, this 9001 written in 2015 aims to improve the internal system of a company so that it is able to produce quality services and products, and it ensures the follow up of QMS, okay, and implementation of proper QMS in the organization, and it ultimately ensures continuous improvement. So we'll come to the documentation part. So firstly, we'll describe the difference between documents and records. So basically, the documents are basically created by planning what needs to be done. Okay, these are documents. Planning that deals with the planning, what is to be done. So basically, these provide information that used to support an effective and efficient organizational operation. So this is documentation. So some examples are like quality policy, quality objective that we have seen just before this slide, quality manuals, organization chart, business plans. So these are basically the plans. We have to show the plans in terms of our documentation. So if we talk about the records, so records are basically, these are the evidences about a past event. So these are created when something is done and recording of the event is being done. Okay. So these are basically the evidences. So documents in terms can be revised and changed. This can be revised, whereas the records cannot change. Okay, records will be fixed forever. So examples are evidences of fitness that a company maintains, basis used for calibration or verification of the instruments used for measurements, design and development of inputs that are being for a particular product, design and development of controls, etc. So these are the records. So records are fixed. They are the past event record, so they will not be changing at all. Okay. So one example of documentation required by ISO 9001 written in 2015. So to any organization to become a ISO 9001 2015 certified, the following documents must be submitted. Okay, like the requirements of the documents include monitoring and measuring equipment calibration records must be there as a part of documentation. So records of training, records of skills, experience and qualifications are required by the ISO 9000. Product service requirements reviewed records, record about design development output reviews. Okay, records of design and development outputs, design and development change records, and some results of internal audits, internal audit program. So this includes some documentation required by ISO 9001 when we are applying for this particular ISO series. So now we will discuss about the ABC analysis. That basically the basic target of ABC analysis is to minimize the carrying cost of inventory. So we don't want to carry the inventory at all. So we don't want to keep excess record of the inventory with us. So basically this analysis is very important. So this analysis is a type of inventory categorization method in which inventory is divided into three categories, namely A, B and C category. From this figure we can see three categories are made, A, B and C category. So here we can see that on x-axis it is percentage of total number of items and y-axis cumulative percentage of total value. So we can see that out of the total value, the percentage contribution of class A items is more. But if we talk about the percentage of total number of items, the volume is less. So very less volume of class A items contribute to a higher value of the total items. Okay, this is cumulative percentage of total value. So A has the highest value items. They are more expensive in nature. And if we talk about class B items, so the B is lower value than, B has a lower value than class A item. So the volume is more as compared to the class A item, and consequently their price is in between as compared to class C items. So C class items are bulk in number but have less value. Okay, so this ABC analysis is very important for inventory management, and this helps in optimization of the business. So to help keep their cost under control. So basically the goal of ABC analysis is to inform the management that the class A items are very expensive and their, in fact, keeping their maintaining their carrying cost is very high as compared to class B and C items. So they must be taken care of, they must be supplied at desired time. So the outcomes of this analysis is, so if we talk about class A items, we can see here from this graph that 20% of all good contribute to about 70 to 80% of the annual consumption value of the items. So we can see here 20% of all goods. So these are the total goods contribute to about 70 to 80% of the annual consumption value of the item. If we talk about class B items, so we can see from here that 30% of all goods contribute to 15 to 25% of the annual consumption value of the items. And if we talk about class C items, so we can see here 50% of all goods contribute only to 5% of the annual consumption value of the items. So this basically categorizes class A, class B and class C items separately. Okay, so how to find the annual consumption rate? We can find it by using this formula, annual demand multiplied by item cost per unit. So this basically is the analysis which categorizes the class of items as per their volume, as per their percentage of uh, consumption value of the item, annual consumption value of the items. Okay. So what is the benefit of doing this ABC analysis? So this helps in minimizing the carrying cost of the inventory. In fact, so it ensures a better control over the costly items in which a large amount of capital is invested. So this basically informs the management that this item is more precious as compared to class B and class C items, that has to be procured properly and from a valid source, so that it will not be a defective, it will not lead to a defective production part. Okay, so basically it also helps in this concept of ABC analysis, also helps in developing scientific method of controlling inventories. So this is not a simple technique that has to be taken care of, because it needs a lot of skills to maintain this inventory analysis. So clerical costs are considerably reduced and stock is maintained at optimum level. Okay, so excess of stock in the inventory system will lead to maximization of the cost of the inventory carrying. Okay, so we have to follow a rule in such a way that whenever it is required, that has to be brought at the same time and in the same volume. So as per their priority, they must be procured. So this ABC analysis also helps in maintaining stock turnout or turnover rate at a comparatively higher level through scientific control of inventories. Okay, so it helps also in maintaining enough safety stock for C category of items. So we know the bulkiness of this C category, so they are major contributor in terms of percentage of items, but their cost is low. So it also helps in maintaining the stock of C category of items which are less costly in nature. Okay, but there are certain limitations. We cannot totally depend upon the ABC analysis. So it is not only the ultimate analysis on which our inventory control management system must be based. So it needs to be supplemented through other analysis with detailed monitoring and executive judgment. Items, so here we can see also that items falling in category C may be essential for smooth production. Therefore, their inventory level should be carefully monitored. It is not necessary that we'll be focusing towards only class A items and we don't want to bother about class C items, because these are equally important for a production of a part or a system. So these must be taken care of. Okay, so in turn we can say that the limitation of ABC analysis is that the item falling in category C may be many and lot of time may be spent on their management. Okay, as a result, adequate time may not be available for effective management of A and B categories. So we should not only focus on C items and should forget about A and B items. So these has to be equally taken care of. So this was regarding the ABC analysis. In fact, it's an effective tool to maintain the inventory to a optimum level so as to minimize the carrying cost of the inventory. So we have to categorize like category A, category B and category C as per their importance and their volume. So now we'll discuss about the just-in-time production concept that is being incepted by Taiichi Ohno of Toyota after Second World War. Basically, as the name indicates, just-in-time is a management philosophy that calls for the production of what the customer wants whenever they want it in the quantities requested without any delay. So it means that whenever a customer puts a demand, the inventory must be carried at that time only and he must be supplied within a small duration of time. So there should not be any delay or lead time in between the ordering by the customer and supplying by the company. So we don't want to manage a huge inventory in our inventory system or stores. So it should be supplied at the time when the item is required. Okay, so no need to carry the inventory. Okay, so inventory has to be, or the raw materials has to be purchased whenever they are required. So this will help to avoid large inventory stocks. So this will also reduce the lead time, waiting time, and less carrying cost. Okay, so the carrying cost of the inventory will be less because they will be procured, because the items are procured whenever they are required. So this will reduce the carrying cost also. So this is very, very beneficial. So each process will only produce what the next process is sequencing is calling for. Okay, so whenever the sequencing of our process demands for the product, then only it has to be supplied. Don't keep in stock. Okay, so this JIT concept uses simple visual tools known as Kanbans. These basically Kanbans are workflow management method designed to visualize the work and maximize the efficiency of the system. This basically Kanbans are a scheduling system for lean manufacturing. So these Kanbans have three columns. Okay, first one is like whatever is requested, what is in progress, and what has been done. So by maintaining the record of the Kanbans or workflow management by using Kanbans, we can provide the inventory as and when required. So these helps to maintain that inventory. So these are basically the workflow management method. These are designed to visualize the work and maximize the efficiency. So we just want to procure the item or supply the item when they are being requested. Okay, so its three columns are very, very important. So requested time, in progress process, and done, whatever is done. So this helps to pull the production through the processes according to what the customer actually take. Okay, so these are basically supporting the JIT concept, just in time concept. So we don't want to keep the stock of our inventory or raw material, and we have to purchase them or keep them in our stores whenever they are required. So what will be the benefit of maintaining this just in time stock? So these are reduced payment timeline. So we have to pay the vendor also on time. So on time payment to the vendor will also lead to good relationship between the procurer and seller. So this is an important aspect of GIT. We'll purchase whenever it is required. So it will not invest a huge amount in carrying the cost of inventory. So this will ultimately reduce the inventory cost. So space will be required, less space will be required. Okay, and less handling equipments will be necessary to handle all these stocks, because they are just in time produced, procured, and being supplied. So this will also reduce the lead time during the production process. This helps in quality improvement. Okay, we don't have to go for the inspection of all the goods purchased at a time and kept in the store for a long time, and we cannot ensure its, or we cannot guarantee for its uh, quality after a passage of time. So this also helps to improve the quality. Then increase productivity will be increased because the lead time is being reduced, and also helps in employee empowerment. So what is required for implementing the just in time concept in production systems? So it is not very simple concept that we are maintaining a inventory as and when required. So it requires reliable equipment and machinery. Okay, so these equipment and machinery must be reliable, so that they will be able to make the, or take care the requirement of the customer as per the need. So it also requires well designed work cells, empowered workforce. It also requires standardized operations. It should be a pull production process, not the push based. So we are marketing something and pushing in the market and trying to sell it. No, we must follow the pull production process. We must take the requirement of the customer, then produce it, and then supply it as per the requirement, so that the product must not be kept on stock for long time. So this will again add the cost of carrying. Okay, so our finished products must be supplied as and when required by the customer. This will help in rapid production, and also uh, improve the quality of production, and can improve the customer's satisfaction. So there should be a single piece flow, okay, and reduced customer supply time. So these are the benefits of, and these are the some requirements of JIT implementation in any production system. So these are references, and thank you so much.